Hi, everyone. I'm Carol Williams with Williams Immigration, and we are back for another Monday morning edition of Beyond the Soundbite, where we talk about all things U.S. immigration. This morning, I want to dive right in, and if you know me, you know it's H-1B, lottery registration period, and therefore you know that's where I'm going to begin. So, lottery registration has been extended until today, March 20th, at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It was supposed to end March 17th at noon Eastern Standard Time, but it has been extended until today, March 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It has been extended because last week the system glitched. It was the payment system where people were having a lot of problems getting confirmation that the payments had been made with which to register for the H-1B lottery. That system is not run by USCIS. So USCIS had a lot of coordinating to do behind the scenes. And as a result, they have extended the H-1B lottery until today, March 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So truly, y'all, if you are still on the fence, you have until today at 5 p.m. to get off that fence and get your H-1B lottery registration in the system. We have not had an extension like this in the past. So if you need to take advantage of it, absolutely take advantage of it. But understand the system will close you out today, March 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is the update. Once they've closed the registration today at 5, soon we will hear which lottery registrants made the cut and were actually chosen in the lottery. So I'm not at all done talking about H-1B cap season, but I definitely wanted to let y'all know that it has been extended. The registration time has been extended until today at 5 p.m. Next up on my list of things to talk to you about this morning is USCIS has issued an updated policy guidance for employers when they are sponsoring individuals, primarily for green cards, and they have to show their ability to pay that individual the offered salary, the offered wage. This is a crucial part of your green card applications if you are an employer. So it's something that we at my firm take very, very seriously. And oftentimes we will do the ability to pay analysis up front so that we don't have any surprises on the back end from the Immigration Service. So ideally, the Immigration Service likes to see annual reports so that they can see the income and the wages and the sales of the business, federal tax returns of the business, or audited financial statements that start with the priority date of the application, which is when the application was filed, all the way up to the current time when they are asking for this information when we are filing the application. If the employer has 100 or more employees, they will take a statement from the financial officer of the company regarding the company's ability to pay the wage. That's ideally what they like to see. Depending on the size of the company, depending on when the company was, began, some of these documents may not be available. So they will also accept bank statements, bank account statements from the business. So just keep that in mind. The Immigration Service has, essentially just kind of drilled down a little bit more into these documents in their own policy guidance. But I wanted to give you guys really super high level this morning. At my firm, we work with employers all the time. We often have conversations about ability to pay. Sometimes the process can be a little counterintuitive vis-a-vis the way that the real business world works. At my firm, it's our job to make sure that we check the box in terms of the way that you are keeping your documents so that we can then explain that to the Immigration Service to show them that, in fact, you do, as the business has the ability to pay that wage. So oftentimes that can come in a request for additional evidence when we don't have, all day to file that response. We are time bound in those responses. So if you think you may have an ability to pay issue and you're wanting to sponsor someone who's on your, one of your staff members, one of your team members for a green card, reach out to the firm. We're more than happy to have that conversation with you. The next thing I want to talk about are these added stamps, these green card stamps, evidence of green card. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned there was a pilot program running out of the Boston local office. Last week, I believe it was, I said, I think the pilot program is being extended. I've heard from colleagues across the country that in some cases their clients have been mailed these added stamps. And so the Immigration Service has announced additional mail processing for receiving the green card stamp or the added stamp. So it looks like they have expanded beyond the Boston office, which is great. That means that more people will be able to take advantage of this. And this is really to be used when you need evidence that you are a lawful permanent resident. So perhaps you have filed to get a new green card and your current green card is expired, but you need evidence that you are in fact a green card holder. This, going into the local office up until now is really your only option, and they would put a stamp in your passport that, they would put a stamp on your actual green card. Each office was doing it a teeny bit differently. But now more offices, it looks like, are starting to actually mail this documentation to you. So hopefully with fewer officers doing this in person, it will free them up to do more casework and maybe, help them sort through the current backlog that we are all experiencing. Next on my list for you all is I wanted to remind you that F1 students who are seeking and requesting from immigration and have already applied for their EAD for either pre or post completion OPT or their 24-month STEM extension. If you have already filed those applications, you can now upgrade those to premium processing. If you have not filed those applications next month, beginning April 3rd, you can file them straight away and request premium processing. So again, this is an initiative that came out of USCIS. We are seeing them follow through with it. And so they are slowly opening up which applications are eligible for premium processing. So again, if you are a student, your application for your EAD for post completion OPT, pre-completion OPT, or your 24-month STEM extension, if those are already pending, you can now upgrade them to use to request premium processing. If you have not filed yet, but if you file after April 3rd, you can request premium processing with your initial application filing. So again, students, if you have any questions about that, you can certainly reach out to the firm. Your foreign student officer at the university should also be able to walk you through this process as well. Increased fees, y'all, increased fees. So back in January, the Immigration Service proposed new fees. Later on in that 60-day comment period, they extended the comment period until March 13th. Well, the comment period is now closed. They've received several comments, as you can imagine. It is important for y'all to know they do not have to change the rule as they have written it. They will certainly go through all the comments. They will review them. They will see if there's a common thread, something that makes them change their mind, something that makes them, change potentially the fee structure of certain things. But they don't have to. They will certainly look at all the comments, but it's important to know that they don't have to change a single word of that regulation. So I fully anticipate that fees will go up. I have a gut feeling. I think they're going to go up. With that, I would recommend that people take a hard and long look at why they have been waiting to file certain applications. Fees are certainly not going to go down. They are certainly not going to be reduced. I anticipate we will have a final published rule, maybe the end of summer, beginning of fall. So if you have not, for some reason, filed your application and you are certainly eligible to file, you may want to consider doing that now before the fees go up. That is all I have for y'all on this beautiful Monday morning. Again, if you have any questions related to your immigration case, please feel free to reach out to our office. You can drop a comment in the comments up below. You can also share this with a colleague if you think they would find it helpful. But you can certainly also call the office at 954-903-1337. Have a gorgeous rest of your week.